Welcome to Payentry's two-factor authentication tutorial. Two-factor authentication is an enhanced security feature that protects your Payentry data. In addition to your username and password, it will require an authorization code for verification. This authorization code can come from a free app, a text, or a phone call. Once two-factor authentication is turned on, you will see this message. If you are using Internet Explorer, please make sure the compatibility mode is turned off. You can find the compatibility mode under Tools. You can skip the setup of two-factor authentication up to 5 times. On the 6th time, it will require you to set it up before you can continue. Also, regarding security questions, the answers to the questions must be at least 5 characters long. Regarding backup phone numbers, they are not required at setup, but we do highly recommend them. If you are going back to set them up later, you can go under Preferences and select to modify backup phone numbers. Next, you will see this question: do you want to set up your two-factor authentication settings now? If you choose yes, then it will take you to the security question setup. You must complete all 4 questions. Each answer to each question must contain at least 5 characters. These security questions will be used in the event that you get locked out of the system and your system administrator chooses to reset your two-factor authentication. The next time you sign in, then you will be prompted to answer 2 of your 4 questions, at which point it will allow you to reset up your primary two-factor authentication method. The next screen will allow you to pick the primary method that you would like to use for your two-factor authentication. You can choose from either a smartphone application, a text message, or a phone call. The information below walks you through a smartphone application. You will be scanning the QR code below. Once it is set up, your smartphone will give you a code to enter. This is an example of what the Smart app will give you for a verification code. Shown here is Google Authenticator and Twofer. It will give you the code and the database associated with it and a countdown. Each code is good for 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds, it will give you a new code and another 30 seconds to enter it. Most of the applications work in a similar manner. This is a screenshot of Twofer. Also gives you a code and the database and the counter. You will enter the code at the bottom and choose Validate Code and continue. If you choose to have your verification code sent via text message or a phone call, you will key the phone number here. For a text message, you will receive a verification code that looks like this. The verification codes for both text messages and phone calls are good for 60 seconds. Once you get your code, you will enter it here and click Validate Code and continue. If you're using a phone number that has an extension, enter the phone number here and the extension here. For a half-second delay, add a plus sign in front of the extension. Once that step is completed, you will get the message Setup Complete and click Continue. Once your two-factor authentication is set up, each time you sign in, it will take you through your steps. If you chose, for example, a text message as your primary backup, you can prompt the system to send a code to you. It will send you a text message with the code that you will type in and click Validate Code. If you check the box that says Don't ask for verification code for 12 hours, then for the next 12-hour period, it will allow you to sign in without doing the verification. If you do not have access to your primary method, choose Show Backup Verification Methods. The backup codes have to be a text or a phone call. It will list all of the backup numbers that you have at the bottom. Simply select the one that you want and click Use this method. To change the information that you've set up for two-factor authentication, from the main menu, choose Preferences. From the Preferences menu at the bottom of the screen, you can clear and reconfigure your security questions. You can modify your primary or backup methods. Once you've made your changes, click Save. This concludes our tutorial on two-factor authentication.